Now, it's being called the Great Kate Wait again. And according to some reports, the Duchess of Cambridge is now 5 days overdue. There's even been speculation Kate has been swimming to try to bring on labour. Well, today, with lots of rumours swirling around, there was even a teasing tweet from Kensington Palace. It said the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge introduced their son, Prince George, to the world for the first time. Hashtag Throwback Thursday, aren't they cheeky? Joining me now to talk about all of this is midwife Claire Byam-Cook, who's helped two other famous Kates, Winslet and Beckinsale, with their births, and also the Sunday Express royal editor Camilla Tominey, herself a mother of three. Camilla, that tweet, a bit cheeky, wasn't it?
It's a little bit cheeky. So you've got the whole of the Fleet Street press covering the royals down at the Lindo Wing, literally reporting on nothing. There are no royals inside.
We've been there before.
We've been there before. Kensington Palace had said, don't go down there until we announce something. That's probably very good advice, because until the royal waters break, so to speak, there is no point in getting down into Paddington, I'm afraid.
Why are we showing a parking suspended sign there? Because it's been extended to the 5th of May. Can we read anything into that?
No, because unfortunately we can't, because first of all, Kate said that she's due mid to late April, so if she goes over, that's what happens, because babies only come when they're cooked, even when they're royal. Second of all, I think they're just doing that as a precaution. It's administrative. It might go into next week, mightn't it, Claire? You're the expert on the timings.
You are, Claire, and you know, it's a fair point and a lovely way of putting it. They only come when they're cooked. Can she really do anything, swimming, having a curry, whatever, to get the baby out soon?
Well, first of all, I'd say I may be an expert on birth and everything, but even I can't predict when the baby's going to come. And yes, the newspapers have been full of old wives' tales of can you bring the baby on by eating curries and so on. And the short answer is, if any of those really did work, mothers would be doing that and doctors would not be admitting them to hospital to bring on the birth. They'd say, go home and eat a curry, or if you don't like curry, eat some pineapples. So really, there's not a lot that can be done. You have to wait for nature to take its course.
Because actually it's highly unusual for a baby to arrive on their due date, isn't it?
Yes, something like only 4% of them do. I mean, it's a really small number arrive on their actual...
I mean, Camilla will remember this. The Queen once talked about royal babies arriving late. Is it something that you see running in the family, or is it, you know, if you have one baby that's a bit overdue, your next will be overdue as well?
No, I honestly think it's random. I mean, I do think if people have a tendency to having very early babies, that can be so, but I think it's just luck. You know, some mothers have their first baby late, the second very early, or vice versa. So, and sadly, Kate is just like any other mother. Being royal makes no difference at all.
It doesn't. Now, 1 in 5 labours in the UK is induced.
Yeah.
What are what's the situation with that? Is it if they go a couple of weeks beyond the due date?
Well, the concern is that the longer a mother goes past the due date, the chances are that the placenta will stop working so well, and the placenta is what provides the baby with all the food, oxygen and everything, so you really need to be careful that that doesn't begin to fail. Also, the baby gets bigger, and the bigger a baby gets, the harder it is to get it out. So those are the two main reasons, and then some mothers suffer high blood pressure and things, so, but she'll be very carefully monitored. So they will be checking that the placenta's still working, and if there's any question of the baby becoming too big, then that might be a factor to induce her a bit.
Very important, being the spare to the heir, Camilla, of course. Now, look, I wonder if Prince Charles perhaps knows something that we don't, because today, again, he's reiterated how much he would like a granddaughter.
No, very sweetly. So he said that in Windsor, and this is for the second time. Although, could that just be grandfatherly preference? He's been used to boys, hasn't he, having 2 sons. We'd all like a girl, really, Matt. This is the thing. I think Fleet Street would be delighted to be able to report sooner rather than later it's a girl.
But there was that spoof tweet over the weekend, wasn't there, saying, welcome Princess Charlotte, which fooled a lot of people.
And well, all of the betting is now on Charlotte. Apparently it's taken over Alice as the preference, although no doubt we will be surprised. But in terms of the induction as well, the Queen famously said after the Duchess of York had to be induced, Princess Beatrice, these wretched babies, they never come on time and they don't come to order. And I think the Queen's probably more spot on than any of us on this one.
I'm sure she'll be a very warm and loving great-grandmother when the second baby does arrive. Thank you both very much indeed for joining me to talk about that. Well.